yes, there have been studies, especially from esteemed universities like the Harvard, where there are cases where studies were done where they found like the cholesterol levels of people who had heart issues was considerably lower compared to the ones who did not interact with dogs. Like I mentioned, discipline, walking the dog and having some sort of routine in life automatically brought about lowered the blood pressure.
I think the happy hormones that you mentioned about, that oxytocin that gets released,
yes.
I think that also helps you a lot in also calming down and also reducing your anxiety if that is spiking up your blood pressure or something.
Yeah.
आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं एक डॉग ट्रेनर और एक एनिमल असिस्टेड थेरेपिस्ट मिस पूर्वजा, एंड हमने उनसे बातें करी डॉग्स की हिस्ट्री के बारे में एंड डॉग्स का ह्यूमन लाइफ में क्या इम्पैक्ट है और वो कैसे हमारी फिजिकल, इमोशनल और मेंटल वेलबींग इम्प्रूव करते हैं बिना हमें बताए। हमने ये भी डिस्कस करा कि कुछ स्टडीज़ जो ये बताती हैं कि कैसे डॉग्स हमारी इम्यूनिटी पे बढ़ाते हैं और हमारी कार्डियक हेल्थ भी इम्प्रूव करते हैं। प्लस हमने उनसे ये डिस्कस करा कि क्या सब लोग डॉग रख सकते हैं और अगर रखना है तो उसके क्या टू डू है और क्या नॉट टू डूज हैं। प्लीज़ कीप वॉचिंग टिल द एंड एंड सब्सक्राइब अस फॉर मोर सच इंटरेस्टिंग कंटेंट। Hello, welcome to our show, Poorvaja. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here, Pranav.
अच्छा पूर्वजा, मुझे आप ये बताओ, आप डॉग्स के साथ कब से काम कर रहे हो एंड हाउ हैज इट बीन?
I've grown up with dogs throughout my childhood. I can't remember my childhood without having a dog in my memory. So, and I was fortunately a part of a family where dogs were always considered very important, a part of the family, literally. So, slowly वो जो love और passion for dogs था, it turned into profession. So now I'm a dog trainer, a behaviorist, and I work closely with therapy dogs. So, and I run an organization called Humans of Canines, where I design interventions with dogs in schools and other institutions.
Which are helping other kids and old age people.
Yes, people of all age groups. I help schools and other institutions design their curriculum and their activities around dogs.
अच्छा पूर्वजा, जैसे आपने बोला कि आप जब you have grown up with dogs, आपने बचपन से dogs देखे हैं, तो and there's also a lot of spiritual relevance to dogs and human dogs का connection बहुत पुराना है. So can you elaborate on that?
Yes, so dogs have literally evolved with humans. If you date back like thousands and thousands of years, you can see carvings of dogs in different caves. Dogs literally went from hunters and gatherers like us, following us, to today sitting and watching Netflix with us. There is also a lot of references made in different mythologies, like say the Hindu mythology has the reference of Lord Bhairava as an incarnation of dog who followed Shiva, or even dogs are considered as gatekeepers of heaven. Greek mythology also mentions dogs as the faithful or the protectors of the underworld from where the dead came. Zeus is one of the gods who was protected by the dog. Also, I think Egypt, they used to bury a small part of the dog along with the bodies of the mummies, saying the dog is there to protect you.
So they've been known to protect and guard and also be faithful to whoever they are with.
Yes.
I think they're very faithful and they're known for fidelity.
Absolutely. Even in Nepal, even today, they celebrate something called Kukur Tihar, which has become very popular, especially on Instagram. You notice, I'm sure, these posts. So, faithfulness, protection has always been documented.
These are the good qualities which they are very well known for, and they have come very far with humans.
Yes.
Like they're still around. And I would also like to know, जैसे dogs आज भी हमारी life में बहुत helpful है हमारे लिए. They are also known to improve your emotional well-being and physical health also. Can you elaborate on that? How are dogs helping us on these fronts?
So, scientifically, dogs are supposed to release a happy hormone called oxytocin in your body.
Okay.
So, not just petting a dog, just looking at the dog can release oxytocin in a human's body. And it's an exchange. Just like maternal hormones that get exchanged the moment a mother picks up a baby, the baby looks at the mother and the mother looks at the baby, the oxytocin gets released. It's exactly the same between a dog and a human. So automatically dogs become very important in a part of a therapy process when it comes to emotional well-being, where people with PTSD, children with autism get some sort of
Comfort.
comfort or therapy.
I think the presence only makes it easier for the other person to also calm down, feel better, and also in some cases it also reduces the anxiety in people, I think.
Absolutely. In my personal experience, I would say I also suffered with a lot of anxiety, and I would just have my dog around, come back from college, pet my dog, hug my dog. I never realized the therapeutic effects it had on me.
We never, actually it was not studied at that point in time.
Yes.
It is recent studies that have shown this impact, and now they've structured it around how they can help.
Absolutely.
Even I think in physical health, I would say dogs have a lot of role in your life, because
Yes.
they help you with a lot of things. They take you for walks actually. Otherwise people are not walking, they're sitting on the couch.
Yes.
So I think that is also helping humans with an overall well-being, I think.
Absolutely. Bringing a dog home, you're forced to follow a routine, something that humans try to run away from.
They actually, there's no way out. Once you get a dog,
Yes.
there's no way out, because
Yes.
there are certain things they will make you do,
Yes.
and you just cannot go by. And your dog love converts into a routine.
Yes. So whether you like it or not, there is a routine in your life where you have to get up to walk the dog, to cook for the dog, to clean, to play with the dog. So it's like a forced sort of an exercise which turns into a lifestyle change.
Correct.
So I know so many people, especially one of my clients who wanted to join a gym and lose weight just so that the person could walk with the dog with ease. So it's not about losing weight, it's not about being fit, but it's just about having a discipline in life, which I think every dog
is the part they bring in, because
Yes.
I remember when I got Magic, I started getting up at 6 because of him, because he had to go for his routine, and it became my routine as well.
Right.
And that was a life-changing moment for me, because otherwise the alarms were ringing but I wasn't getting up. Now
Yes.
it has become a part of my life, and since that day I get up early.
Yes.
It's a very big life change that Magic brought into my life. So that is why I think they really transform you in a way. You don't realize it, but eventually you are a different being while you are living with a dog.
Right.
And
Even during COVID, a lot of people who had dogs at home, when they would be sitting in front of the systems for long hours, when there was a bark, or when there was, say, if they had to walk the dog or something like that, they would have to get up from their chairs and go. They don't require a watch. So, yes, so just forcing yourself to physically be active is something which is not just important for your physiological needs but also psychological needs, right? So dogs have enabled that. Pet dogs have certainly enabled
So
that.
we can say that dogs are your unknown trainers, which are there in your life, and but training you and your coach are your coaches to improve your health.
I would say dogs are your best friends, who genuinely think of your well-being. And their own well-being. So in the sense, it's a mutual relationship of love. Yes, that is.
And Poorvaja, I have also come across some studies which have spoken a lot about apart from physical and emotional, dogs have also helped a lot of heart patients. People with cardiac issues have sort of healed and improved their cardiac health in presence of a dog. how does that happen? Can you elaborate on that, please?
So yes, there have been studies, especially from esteemed universities like the Harvard, where there are cases where studies were done where they found like the cholesterol levels of people who had heart issues was considerably lower compared to the ones who did not interact with dogs. Like I mentioned, discipline, walking the dog and having some sort of routine in life automatically brought about lowered the blood pressure.
I think the happy hormones that you mentioned about, that oxytocin that gets released,
yes.
I think that also helps you a lot in also calming down and also reducing your anxiety if that is spiking up your blood pressure or something.
Yes, like yes. To a large extent, stress levels are very low compared to people who did not interact with dogs. So they did like studies where dogs were interacting with patients, heart patients, and the ones who were, there was a control group and there was another group which without interaction with dogs. And what they found was the stress levels were much lower, not just heart but also noticed in cancer patients, something similar. What happens with a dog is having a dog when you have any physiological issue like heart issue is you're not thinking about just yourself. You don't internalize your pain. You're also looking at another being.
They sort of bring you out of your anxious thinking and make you involve in a lot of things, other things that distract you from feeding that anxiety maybe.
Right.
A lot of time that is the problem, that sitting idle, people are not actually finding a lot of things to engage in.
Right.
They fall into the traps of anxiety, and that may be leading towards heart issues. And that is where dogs step in, bring you out and sort of make you do a lot of things and calm you down.
Yeah. Not just distraction, I would say. I would add a little bit more to it in terms of constructive outlook. When you're going through therapy or treatment, you internalize so much that you are in pain, there is so much happening within your body, but looking it outwardly as a spectator is very important to heal. So that's what dogs help in.
And also, as you mentioned, this Harvard study, I remember there was another study by Harvard a few years ago which talks about kids who have grown up with dogs have better immunity. Is it like that? Is it something that we...
Yes, I mean, I've read a lot, considering now I'm a parent myself and I have my child growing up with dogs.
Okay.
Yes, it is said to improve the immunity of children. Also, the children that grow up with dogs are a lot more compassionate, a lot more empathetic, because they are growing up with beings that enable empathy in the environment. No judgments, no expectations as such, just pure love. So
being in the moment, enjoying the moment is what kids also do, and they learn it more from the dogs.
Exactly. Unlike adults who have so many preconceived notions. This is the whole basis of animal assisted therapy, right? So that's how this has shaped. Animal assisted therapy comes from the basis that dogs are empathetic and can be used for therapy.
Animal assisted therapy, Poorvaja, as you are practicing it also, can you elaborate it for our viewers? What is animal assisted therapy and how does it benefit these setups that you take your dog into? What is it like?
So animal assisted therapy is a very scientific process. It is something that it's not just about interacting with dogs. It's about designing a goal-oriented therapeutic program where you work with a set of resources, say a teacher, a clinician, psychiatrist, for a person who is going through therapy, and you kind of help that person achieve a specific goal. Say for example, a child with autism, and a lot of teachers reach out to enable social interaction, which is difficult for a child with autism. So how do you do that? You design a curriculum, you design a therapeutic process along with psychologists and people working on it, and you try and achieve that goal by creating an environment where a dog interacts with the child. again, here...
And I'm sure, Poorvaja, these are not regular dogs. These dogs are specifically trained for this job, and they know the setup, they know the people they are interacting with. I think it works. It is a very, like you rightly mentioned, it's a very structured process.
Yes.
Which leads to a certain result eventually.
Yes. Not every dog is a therapy dog. You have to train your dog to be a therapy dog. We temperament test dogs. So you can't just say, oh, my dog is very friendly, so oh, he's perfect therapy dog. That doesn't work. The dog has to be very calm in that environment. The dog has to comply. There are certain rules that need to be followed. Also, the dog cannot be overexcited. The dog cannot be overly calm. When I say overly calm, means not interested. Basically, the dog also has to enjoy the process of therapy, because after all, it's work.
And it is very hectic.
It is very hectic.
The dog must be, I think, tired after a workshop.
Oh, absolutely. Remember that anything that you put in a therapeutic process drains out a lot of energy, because it's energy exchange after all. So for a dog to even interact for an hour with a child, a child which is going through some emotional turmoil, or even children in general, the dog puts in a lot of effort. Yes, you have to train the dog, you have to temperament test the dog, you have to give the dog enough breaks, you have to protect the dog in such environments. So not every dog is a therapy dog, but if you have a dog that you feel like, oh, has the perfect temperament, and I want to train the dog to be a therapy dog, you should contact a trainer and enable that process.
You should actually go through the process of training your dog.
Yes.
And also, what setups are like where you can take your therapy dog, or what setups have you worked in where you have taken therapy dogs or animal assisted therapy? That is something which you have practiced. Is it only schools? Is it only some specific centers? Can you elaborate
so
on
in
that?
India right now, schools are getting slightly more receptive to the idea. Schools have given a very good response, hospitals also is one area. However, there are certain restrictions when it comes to hospitals in terms of the kind of dog that we bring. So India is still preparing for it, I would say.
It is in the process, I think.
Yes.
I think the awareness is better
in
the last few years, and I think the training process also has improved a lot.
Absolutely.
I think people are more welcoming and open to the idea that they should train their dogs.
Oh yes, things have changed tremendously here. There are other setups also, other institutions like NGOs, corporates have become very aware of the stress levels at workplace, and a lot of them contact us to bring dogs and just have like a stress-free environment with dogs and interaction.
Just feel it easy, enjoy, and sort of calm down from your stress of work.
Yes. So there are changes happening in the current environment for the good. However, there is a long way to go.
Poorvaja, आपने बोला that every dog is not a therapy dog, and I'm sure बहुत सारे viewers ये देख के वीडियो सोच रहे होंगे to get a dog immediately because it sounds so good, it feels so good. Is there a to-do list or something that you have to avoid or something that you have to see before getting a dog?
Oh yes. Okay. So yes, we have spoken a lot about benefits of having a dog, but there is also a lot of responsibility. Like for instance, these days people say, "Oh, I don't want a child, I want a dog." Now that I am a parent of a dog and a child, I can say both are very different. Remember, they are very different species. Treating a dog as a dog is very important. Don't get a dog if you are looking for just something like having a child. I would say bring a dog home if you want to take up the responsibility of bringing up a dog.
You are ready for the hard work that comes along with the cuteness and the love.
Yes. There is also one very important aspect here is, do you have the time to raise the dog? A dog requires a lot of human interaction. Remember, dogs were bred to be with humans. They were not bred to be with other dogs.
And not even to be alone.
Yeah, I mean, you can leave your dog alone and train them to be alone, but you have to spend at least 3 to 4 hours a day of positive interaction, not for Instagram. Remove your phone when you're interacting.
Just play with your dog, like play tug, play ball, fetch, something like that.
And this is apart from walking the dog, feeding the dog, having a very constructive interaction with the dog, bonding with the dog. That's exactly what is going to make a dog happy. So if you have time for that, then okay, you can consider. And even if you consider, start with fostering a dog and experience how
see if you
it
can
feels.
do it, or see if you even have the resources or the space, because the dog will require space.
Yes.
Because these days homes have started becoming smaller and smaller. And people are willing to get bigger dogs.
Right.
So it doesn't fit in.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel their breed plays a very important role. You have to see what kind of breed you bring. I know it's a trend to just adopt Indies, but remember, Indies are beautiful dogs which require immense amount of mental and physical stimulation. If you bring a dog home, if you're not able to give that amount of mental and physical stimulation or time, then you're just abusing the dog again. So walks are important.
You got it basically impulsively, and then you realize that there's a lot of work to be done.
Or you get it out of love, and I'm not questioning anyone's intention here.
But it is something I wanted to bring in attention, because it does sound like the dogs can be really good for you, but it does require a lot of work. So be ready for it. Please do get a dog, but prepare for it. And I'm sure a lot of people will contact you, because training is must. I would say please do get your dogs trained first, and then you can sort of enjoy the good parts that comes along with the dog.
Yes. Budget for getting a dog, very important. It's veterinary bills, trainers bills, healthcare, all of that goes around raising a dog. So yes, very important.
Great. Thank you for such an amazing discussion, Poorvaja. It was very nice talking to you.
Same here. Love talking about dogs. Thank you.
Great. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग टिल द एंड. प्लीज़ कमेंट करके हमें बताइए कि आपको पूर्वजा से और कोई क्वेश्चंस हो या और कोई टॉपिक्स पर डिस्कशन करना हो, तो हम पूर्वजा को अपने शो पे दोबारा बुलाएंगे और सारे टॉपिक्स डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे. प्लीज़ लाइक, सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर विद एटलीस्ट वन पर्सन, बिकॉज दिस टॉपिक कैन हेल्प दैट पर्सन improve their mental health and also learn more about dogs. Please subscribe us for more such interesting content. Thank you.